How many times in your life do you find yourself setting these huge monumental goals for yourself, such as wanting to be a great public speaker, wanting to run your first half marathon and you can barely even run a 5K, wanting to achieve a state of health and vibrancy when you've been experiencing prolonged illness. And sometimes we'll set these goals and we'll get out the door and we'll rush towards these goals and we'll make the improvement, and it feels like we're getting towards this goal of finally achieving it. And we reach this wall of stagnation where we just start to plateau in our performance. Sometimes we'd even backtrack and it would end up dissuading us, thinking, I might never reach this goal. I might never reach this summit. And during these times, it is so important to recognize this concept of the art of incremental improvement. Something which I wish I'd known sooner, because there had been so many times when I reached this plateau and I would just give up. The art of incremental improvements is something that can make a profound difference, because when you reach that stage of stagnation and you feel like you just don't have what it takes to reach that end goal that you've set for yourself, it can help recontextualize things so that you don't have to feel dissuaded. You can chunk down that goal into those very minute aspects. And I think there's 3 critical components of this art of incremental improvements that have been really helpful in my journey. The first one is to focus on one particular aspect at a time. So for example, if I'm trying to be a better public speaker, it would be focusing on one particular aspect. Maybe at this stage, I really want to work on trying to eliminate filler words from my vocabulary, trying to articulate a message in a way that is not inundated with filler words that distract you from the key message that I'm wishing to convey. And I zone in my focus on that particular aspect. And I don't care about the other aspects that I need to work on for now, because it's just too much to handle. Because if I were to focus on vocal variety, if I was to focus on camera presence, focus on trying to make sure that I use the best possible language to demonstrate the message that I wish to convey, if I try and do everything all at once, immediately I'd become overwhelmed by this and I would just give up and backtrack, even start to undo a lot of the progress that I had made previously. So whatever goal it is, try and focus on that one particular aspect at a time. Make the improvements. Once you feel comfortable with it, then take on that next step. It's like taking baby steps towards your goal when you reach, especially once you reach the stage of stagnation. Because initially, you may make a lot of progress. Maybe it's just a fear and all you need to do is just get on camera and say anything. And you slowly build up a lot of momentum. But then you ultimately reach the stage of stagnation. And this aspect can make a profound difference. The second aspect is the competition. Now you may be wondering, what competition am I referring to? Are you competing with somebody else? Because when we find ourselves competing with someone else who's on a similar journey, not necessarily the same journey, we can dissuade ourselves. Because they may be much further than you. And by competing against someone else on this journey, it could potentially make you feel bad for stagnating, making you feel like I probably just don't have what it takes. So I want to shift this notion of competition to stop competing with others, stop trying to be better than others, but rather to shift that focus to try and be better than a previous version of yourself, from an art of incremental improvements perspective, it's competing against yourself, competing against the previous version of yourself, trying to make that small change to try and be 1% better than the previous version and to start compounding on that. Oftentimes when I compete against other people, trying to look at them, I would be so dissuaded because they were way further than I am on this journey. Or if I'm competing against people who have just started on this journey and they may be making all this monumental improvements in their progress towards their goal, and that could lead me towards feeling dissuaded because I'm not making those improvements. I'm starting to stagnate. So don't care about competing with others. Try and focus on competing against yourself, just the previous version of yourself. And the third and most important aspect that I learned on this journey of incremental improvements is to bring more awareness into it. Bring more conscious awareness into this process so that you can recognize what are those areas that I need to work on? What is that one particular area that I need to work on at this particular stage so that my mind is no longer constantly distracted thinking, oh no, instead of working on fuller words, you should be working on vocal variety. Instead of working on vocal variety, you should be working on camera presence. By focusing it and bringing in the awareness is a critical component because it's the awareness of what do I need to work on at this particular stage in my journey. What is that one thing that I need to recognize that I need to do better? And it's also awareness to recognize what it is that you've been doing well so far. By bringing in more awareness, you can make this journey so much better because you can start to celebrate the wins that you've had and you can start to identify what are those areas that you need to be better at. So hopefully this video has helped you recognize that whatever it is, whatever goal you've set in your life, embracing this art of incremental improvements, if it's your health, trying to make those small minor tweaks, one step at a time, it's going to get you towards where you want to be with regards to your end goal. And to not get dissuaded when you reach the state of plateau. It's about embracing this notion that it's those small steps that will ultimately get you to your end goal. Don't look to others who may be able to take giant leaps towards their goal. Their journey is different. It's about zooming in the focus to my own journey, my journey that is unique to me, and taking the steps that I need to take towards my goal. So as always, thanks so much for watching. I hope this video has helped to make a difference in your life and to give you some positive momentum if you've found yourself in this position of stagnation. With that, I hope to see you in my next video.